Hello everybody, welcome back. It's been a while, but I've made it. I'm finally back. Alright, the computer, she betrayed me, but it's all good. Welcome back to the channel, it's me, Indi. And yes, this is a bit of a different setup from usual, but you know what? You know what? I'm in the business of making it work, yes I am. So hello out there. If you are there and you can make it to the chat or get it down into the comments box down below, go for it. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely day. You can spare me some time to do my makeup, actually. Hello, Hysteria. Hello, my darling. How are you doing? Are you ready? Should we talk mug? Should we talk day face? Should we talk day walking women, shall we? So, I've done some stuff about makeup on the channel, but basically more than anything, I wanted to come on here today and have a little bit of a chat, really, do a little bit of a life update, and try and test out this god-forsaken computer, because the setup's quite different, right? I've had to, hold your horses, there we go. Turn myself down a bit. I've had to kind of, I've got to retweak things, all right? So this is mug time, right? We're talking makeup, we're talking face. So we just turn the music down. Yes, so obviously drag is one thing when it comes to doing makeup. And for me, I've had the benefit of being able to have my beard like lasered off a bit. So my process as far as what I'm doing with makeup has changed quite a lot. And I've got to a point where I feel like I love eyeshadow. I do a lot of eyeshadow stuff, but when it comes to skin and stuff, I generally wear a lot less. Like, and it's got silly. It's got silly to the point where I look at myself sometimes and I think, if this was 4 or 5 years ago, I would be screaming. But, yes, so PC is back from the death. Yes, she is. I tell you what, my PC's got some amnesia, though. It has. I think it's had a bit of an identity crisis whilst I was away. But at the end of the day, it's all good. It's just taking me time to sort everything out. So hopefully I should be getting back to gaming streams by the beginning of next week. That's fingers crossed. Obviously, no promises, nada, nothing like that. But I hope to get back for Monday streaming. So in the meantime, let's do it then. Let's talk some makeup. Today, everybody, I have washed my face. I haven't actually shaved today, which is another thing with the laser. I wouldn't have been able to do that before. But yeah, I haven't actually shaved today. It looks a bit worse in person than it does under the lights. I will give you that. But usually I find that even if that is the case, these steps that I'm going to take now will do enough for me to get away in daylight. That's why I've got a bit of a lighter setup as well, just so it's a bit different, because I know usually I'm really heavy with studio lighting and green screen. Obviously that means you need different things, shall we say. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try not to rely too much on the monitor. I want to really try and kind of rely on my mirror more than anything and do what I actually would do in the day. So if you're a makeup person or a makeup lover and you want to find out maybe a couple of tips and tricks, or just generally like watching people doing their makeup, welcome. It's the place for you. Let's go. So face is washed, all right? Always got to start with a nice wash face. You know, am I going somewhere nice? I'm not. I'm probably going to go out and do some sewing and some sorting later. But I just thought I need to kind of set things up. So let's do my makeup for the afternoon. And let's just get into it, basically. So now I'm a brow diva. And I usually do start with brows, but there's a few steps I'll do, especially if it's daytime, to kind of keep things on a bit easier. One being setting spray everywhere first, all right? This is the e.l.f. Micro Fine Setting Mist Stay All Night. It's actually a really good one, because a lot of setting sprays don't really have anything that could actually keep your makeup on. Like, a lot of them are just like glycerin. And it's like, oh, okay, hi, glycerin, how are you doing? Now, you don't need to have a little manual fan, but I have become that person, all right? Let me have my things. Let me have my things and do my stuff, all right? I would like to do my things. If I just give myself a moment. I'm still getting all of my settings back up and running, and it's taking me a hot potato second, but I'm getting there. There we go. Get some background music on. I can play this one. I've got a license. YouTube. As long as it's just this one, I can put something on. It's all good. But yeah, so nice makeup always starts with nice skin, and it's really important to make sure you got a decent skincare regime. I'm not talking anything crazy. I do cleanse, tone, moisturize, boom, bada bing, bada boom. Every now and then put on a little serum, something like that, you know, but it's not wild. But with makeup, prep's important. So we're doing this, and then what I'll actually do is I will get a little bit of the Fit Me just translucent powder on a little puff. I know what you're thinking, what you're doing, but I am quite an oily skin texture, so I usually do a little bit of powder just underneath some of the areas where I get the most oily, because you don't really want coverage from it. I just kind of want to mattify. Like if you look at this side of my forehead and then this side where I've kind of mattified it, it's definitely a big difference. So it's just really looking for those bits where your face is picking up light that you're not really after. Just take that shininess away. Like the nose. My nose is a beacon. Alright? My nose is an absolute beacon. Make sure you have a heinous powder puff you've been using for years as well. Top tips. But no, obviously keep your stuff clean. But yes. So once you've got yourself a little layer of translucent powder down, that's then when I will actually go over the primer. And it's a lot, okay, but I find sometimes when you're trying to get away with a little bit, you just got to put a bit more time into the skin. Also at this point, lip balm. I like a nice little tinted one, because if it's daytime, I don't like wearing lipstick. I feel like it's a bit too much. I like it in the evening, but for me, just a little tint really does the job. So I'm going to put that on. This is nothing. This has literally got hardly any pigment. But for what I'm going to do later, it's good to make sure you're nice and moisturized, alright? The way our skin types are polar opposites. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you, Eden... oh, no. Who's Eden? I don't know her. Hysteria. If you ever go somewhere, like, really hot and you're going to melt, some of the stuff that I do would probably benefit, because what I'm doing most of the time is trying to build up that layer in between my sweaty face and the makeup. That's basically all I'm doing at this point, because sometimes you think that it's heat and moisture coming from outwards, but it's not. Most of the time it's coming from here. With me anyway, I know that oil obviously is coming out of my skin, so I'll do what I can to minimize that. I have got one hair that is driving me absolutely buck wild. Hi JM, welcome back, the mod with the mostest. Hope you're having a nice day, darling. Right, so we've got some translucent powder on, and when it comes to primer, I do quite a bit with priming, but I'm going to do a hyaluronic acid based primer. This is by MUA. It's actually really quite good. I'd say it's quite similar to the Milk one. Now, if you're like me, you might get a little bit of a flush when you use things like hyaluronic acid. Like I get quite red skin, and I don't mind that at this point, right? This is just for areas I need the most hydration. So this goes under my eyes, right? I don't tend to get an oily under eye. That's one thing I'm quite lucky with. And I'm going to prime my eyebrows with something different. Now, the top lip is a major problem area for me all the time. But one place I will add this for that extra bit of hydration is just like down here on the neck. Because I find that if you've got facial hair, or if you just are a person that shaves, like any way that you can kind of get the hydration back into your skin where you need it, that's not going to make you really oily, is going to really help you out. All right, just in the long run. And hyaluronic acid is known for being extremely hydrating. And this stuff, it's like, don't know if you can hear that. No, you can't hear that, but it's like sticky. It's good. So I usually put a bit of that down here along the beard. Well, what was possibly, maybe in a different life, a beard, but it's that bit done, and usually whatever's left, I'll just put a tiny bit on the brows, and then make sure it's nice and up here. Now I get really red and wet. I get red and wet and in the corner of my eyes, so that's something I do battle against quite a bit, all right, but we're gonna get there. So primers, pretty much all of them are on. Now, this is where we start adding a bit of coverage to skin. This is my old trusty Sigma eyeshadow primer. I can't tell you what shade it's in, but this I absolutely love because it's like the same color as your skin. If you can find an eyeshadow base that matches you flawlessly, you can get a really good coverage for your eyeshadow without having to do so much on the skin. So I'll take a little bit of this and just, not much of it, you'll see. I'll put this on my lids and tap it in instantly. And it does. This stuff is such a good color match on me. It's just like, oh, did I even put anything on? But this has got a really good coverage to it. And I find this will last on my oily ass face in 40-degree heat at a festival when you're running around like a giant pink mushroom all day. So, you know, she's a good one. And when I tell you, I did not crease. And the photos that they were took at like 3, 4 in the morning that night, they actually looked great, even though I'd had it on since 12 o'clock. So I credit a lot of that to this. It's my favorite eye primer. If you really need that stuff to absolutely stick to you like glue, it's literally that good that I will not let go of the end of the remnants of this. It's why it's a complete mess, because I will not let her go. You know, she ain't cheap, but she's worth the penny, you know, she's worth the squeeze. She's worth the squeeze. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back into Elden Ring as well. Obviously the DLC's coming, and we've still got a lot to finish up. Like, I feel like I kind of left it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. But it's okay. It's okay, I'm getting back there. It's just taking a bit of time getting this all sorted out, if you know what I mean. It just is taking a bit of time. And yes, I use a lot of my fingers for daytime because I find it does have a better way of kind of pushing the product into your skin. Love me doing the makeup with the fingers. 100%. So now you can see that's just kind of even the eye base out, but that's also, this is really good for oil control, so that's going to stop my eyeshadow from folding. Heinous. Heinous. Right. I have a sip of my coffee. Hello! How's it going? Are you learning anything? Is this anything you would do? Let me know down in the chat, all right? Let me know what you're with me. What steps do you do in your makeup in? Because I know a lot of people don't even prime, but I think that is a lot to do with skin texture and skin type, you know? Some people just don't need to as much, whereas I'm one of these people where it's a lot of oil control. It's a lot of kind of trying to make sure that my skin is ready to take all of this stuff I'm going to put on it and not look like it's just product on product. It's a lot, but I think you can already see it's kind of evens you out a bit. I like the hyaluronic acid. I like the hyaluronic acid primer, the MUA Pro Base one, because it does a lovely job of making your under eyes nice and hydrated. Oh yeah, I know you all care so much about your under eyes. Right. On that note, let's move forward. So now we have got our lids primed out. All right. Another top tip, if you've got a good oil control lip primer and you get a lot of irritation from shaving, I get a lot here. One thing I will do is take this same eye primer, because like I say, oil control, it's stopping the oil coming through. And I'll put it just on that spot. Just there. Because I find this is a golden product for anywhere that you're finding that your makeup isn't sticking. You know, if it's not sticking anywhere, this stuff will make it stick like absolute crap. So I usually will then take a little bit of this as well for this if you can see it more apparently here. Hold on, let me just turn this light down a little bit if I can. Right. You can see here, I've got these like really red spots in the corners of my eyes, and I'll turn it up a little bit more. So once again, anywhere that your skin's struggling to hold on to the makeup, just a tiny bit of this, and because it's so close to my skin color, it just disappears. It's gone. It's gone! What are you talking about? Don't know, me? Makeup? No. Once a man walked in on me putting makeup on, and I had to pretend I was playing and catch it. I did. And he believed me. Not surprised. La 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 la. Yeah, so eye primers can be a very multi-use thing for anywhere that you struggle to keep makeup on for a very long time. So, no. Onto a brow, shall we? Let's do a little brow. Let's do a little brow, Dave. Do you like eyebrows, yeah? Bleeding hell. I ain't done an eyebrow on too long. That's when you realise I have a Gemini moon, because the two parts of me are in eternal conflict. One part of me is like, who the hell are you? And the other person is, well, whatever that was. Wow. Give me the coffee, right? I know most people, they've got up and lived their life and done their thing. Not me on this day. And I know this is a very different video to what you're used to, if you are one of the more frequent indie channel frequenters. You must also bear with me as I completely lose all of my stuff and forget to clean my eyebrow brush. So this is isopropyl alcohol. You want 70 to 80%. Don't buy the 99 because it will not work and it will just burn your skin, in my opinion. But yeah, again, I have soft cherub skin for which to have my face. It's delicate, no? So let's grab this now. I'm going to go into Miss Morphe Latte Brow Pomade, because I tell you what, they're actually not that bad on price and they're very good. I was talking to Corey about this the other day and I was like, girl, I've had this Morphe brow cream. It's probably gone off, right? And I wouldn't be surprised, but it's good. It is good. It is good. I need to probably get a new one, but you know, fight me about it. Fight me about it. So I've got a little mirror down here that I'm trying to do me makeup in. So let's just hope that I at least end up with cousins. I'll settle for cousins today. They don't have to be sisters, all right? So get your trusty eyebrow brush that you are absolutely obsessed with, and I usually just do a little boop boop boop, and then we go swoop-de doop. You know, I think if you've watched me a bit, you'll kind of understand my language. But we do a little swoop. Right, you know what? I'm picking this damn mirror up. I'm picking it up. I'm picking up the damn mirror. Look at all the clips and things I have on my mirror. And you know, how relatable. This is so old. The inside of it's literally dark brown. But you know what? I refuse to let go. I refuse to let go of plastic objects, because this world will just end up being absolutely somehow even more wrecked than it already is, I think. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm glad to be back here with you all. I know that there's probably some people who will watch this after the fact, and that's like, you know, if you do, thank you so much. Like, love to see the support. I will buy you a cookie. I will buy you a virtual cookie, and I will send it via YouTube to your abode. Yes, I will. Because you deserve it. You deserve all the best things in life. Should we just turn this into a guided meditation? Okay, you ready? Everything's coming up roses. Can't you smell the trees coming to life? Spring, summer, it's in the air. Can't you hear the birdies tweeting? Everything in life was laid out for you because you are a divine creation of fate and light. I'm gonna stop. I'm literally gonna stop. But yes, I don't know what I'm doing today. You get your swoop-de-doop on for your eyebrow, like that, and you got an eyebrow on. And then we do the same thing over there. If I can get my product together. See, this is the thing. This is going to be an absolute mess of a video, by the way. So if you've clicked off already, I don't blame you. I literally don't blame you. But that's one eyebrow on. Maybe it would help if I was using the mirror that was just right by me, wouldn't it? Yes, that would help, yeah. And yes, I will be using this Beauty Bay palette today, because I will say, considering the price point and that, like, they're really, really good products. And not everyone can afford, you know, the most crazy, wild products. And I can't afford them. So, that's life, isn't it? That's life. It's just life. Oh wow, my eyebrow is, it's alright, you have to trust the process with these eyebrows. I swear, my eyebrows change every day. And that's fine. That's fine. It's all about expression. How are you feeling? You know, it's like, do you want it big and arched? Do you want to feel like a villain walking through the daytime streets? Because, you know, that's a possibility for you. Or do you just want to be subtle? Or do you want to look like Tammy Brown? You know? I love Tammy Brown. So yes, I'm kind of coming out because... Yes, I'm kind of coming out because I find that daytime tweed is a bit less over the top than an evening chiffon, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Now, you must bear with me. Usually I would do this in a lot quicker of a time, but when you're kind of trying to pseudo-explain yourself through the internet with some animated mushrooms in your bedroom, it can take a little bit longer. So yes, we're just kind of building up the shape gradually. You can always add, but taking away is hateful. It is. And I don't like that. No, I don't like that. So you see, I just do kind of a few little strokes just to kind of give the impression, and then just kind of fill it in like it's your grandmother's brow because she plucked them all off in the 90s. That's how you have to think of it, you know. You have to go through grandma's eyebrow to reach fluffy, what kind of looks a bit less a grandma's eyebrow, but I'm a grandma, so, you know, take it or leave it. And this is the thing. I'll be here doing this and I'll be fine with it, and then I'll literally watch it back and cringe and delete it, probably. So if you're here and you're watching this, you're so welcome. Yeah, I have a big habit of what I call unsolicitedly cringe deleting. And that's great, you know? But if you ain't cringing, you ain't growing. And I don't think I'm growing either, I'm just cringing. But it's all good. Now, I'm also aware that as I've not been posting for a little while, I'll probably be penalised by Miss PoobTube. And, you know, The kind of penalisation I don't mind is not that one. So, you know, suck on that penalisation. I've got brain rot. That's what happened. So I was fighting Melania, right? And we was chin wagging, and, you know, she was dancing around and taking all my health off me. And in the end, I just caught the scarlet brain rot. That's what it is. And that's why now I've drawn these eyebrows on like they're in completely different counties, let alone cousins. God. And this is the reality of makeup, you know. Sometimes it just floats on your face. Like it's like, oh yes, gorgeous, lovely, happy me. And then other days it's like, why did I even wake up? I think if you know, you know. If you know, you know. But yes, I'm getting there slowly. I'm just chilling out. I'm just chilling out, taking it easy today. And I could have made this an actual video, but to be honest, I just felt like coming on here and seeing how the stream's doing. I don't think that the whole stream has dropped out yet. I don't think. I could be wrong. And sometimes I am wrong. But yes, I don't think. Now, let me just assess this situation, because look at this. They're like different planets. This one looks like it was nibbled on by a German Shepherd. It literally does. Oh, you love the little mushrooms? Good. Well, I haven't got any of the visuals. That's one of the things that was on the PC. There was so much on that damn PC. And she's back, and she's working fine. But I will be honest, it had a bit of an identity crisis on me. Yeah. It did. It's had a bit of an identity crisis on me now, and it does kind of remember me, but not much. But we support her. You know. We support her. Now, I know what you're all thinking. You know, that's a bit bold for a day brow. And you know what? Yeah, it is. But I say, why not go out there and be extra as absolute heck? And just paint on a brow and two fucking foreheads. Why not? No, but no, genuinely, I think everyone's different, isn't it? It's one of them things where you have to trust the process. And before you know it, everything will make sense. Everything will make sense. I know there's people who do these eyebrows and do them like perfect, like microbladed effect. Looks so good. And that's not what I'm aiming for. If that's what you think I'm aiming for, I'm not. This is just what I've always done because I don't like my natural eyebrows. They are utterly, utterly heinous, disgusting, horrible, grim. So yeah, basically my natural eyebrows, they kind of grow down here and they make me look like I've got permanent depression, which I know, but also no, not ideal. So now these brows are definitely unrelated, unsolicited, undesirable, and therefore absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Because if you're going out in the day, right, hear me out. Hear me out. If you are going out and day walking, you must, I've lost my head, you must just be regular, you know. You don't need to be anything special. It doesn't need to be perfect, you know. How many people do you see walking down the road that literally look like they've got eyebrows like this? You know? Love that for them. I support them. However, I would suggest they get their eyebrows tweezed or copy me and shave them off. But, you know, choices. That's me. That's on me. I get it. So now I've basically just sprayed with some alcohol. Oh. Yeah, give me a bit more. So I've got a rag that I use just to keep things clean instead of using wipes all the time because, you know, I've got to save the world. Saving the world one makeup wipe at a time, one carrier bag at a time. I'm doing it all. So now I've done that. That's basically just a little bit of a base. And usually I will manage to make things a little bit more cohesive in just a second. So I'm going to take my setting spray again. I'm going to go into Beauty Bay Neutral Baby Palette. She's very much loved. And we're going to go into the shade Heather. It's kind of a little bit more of a cooler tone than the brow product I use. So I like it to add a little bit of tone variation into my eyebrows. So I'll pick it up out of the pan, scoop up a little bit of powder onto the brush, just spray it down a little bit, and then I usually do use my hand or a palette just to kind of flatten the brush again. And then I'm gonna go back in. Yeah, no, I'm not in this town, so I'm gonna go back in and just add a little bit more. Wow, the road's popping off today, everybody. I decided to do a live stream. The road was like, nope. But yes, so we do that. Picking up a little bit more shadow. This is my personal makeup, alright? So don't come to my house and cut my wigs up. But, there we go. We usually flatten that out again. And just thicken this up a little bit more and lengthen it out slightly. So this also helps with oil as well, because you're adding that extra little layer. That extra little layer of powder just to keep the eyebrows matte. Because if you are a eyebrowless fool like me, then you'll understand sometimes your eyebrows can literally look like they're shiny, and I'm always trying to do what I can to stop them looking shiny, because then you've been clocked at the pageant. They don't look like a nice natural looking brow. And like you can see, I'm not going for perfection. We want, you know, a kind of softer daytime brow. I don't want to look like too sculpted snatched, but you kind of want to make it look nice, you know, nice little strokes, nice and soft. So yeah, and they're not even too. Who do you know in real life's natural eyebrows are even? Come on, tell me. Like, come on, tell me. No one's are. No one's are. And I'm just kind of trying to cheat a real brow from a far distance. That's kind of similar to what I'm doing. So, bar me waffling on like a fool, I can do this whole face in literally less than 20 minutes. It's just, obviously I'm glad to be back. I've been drinking coffee, sorting things out, and yeah. So how rude you have to work. But oh, I know, how rude working when I'm live. How rude having lives and not just being sat at home waiting to click on my videos. I hold you all accountable. No, I blooming don't. Of course I don't. But yeah, so as I was saying, eyebrows, no way near perfect. They're not perfect. They're not supposed to be. We're day walking divas, all right? Keep it soft. So now I'm going to carry on. I'll carry on because I've got my brow shape. This is where I will add my eyeshadows. Now, I'm never doing anything too wild, too crazy daisy, all right? But what I am going to do is a nice little, just like brown halo smoky eye. And I'm not going too dark, too crazy, but I want to always try and do something that gives my eye a subtle illusion without being like, you're in drag, mama. So let's go in now with the shade, ooh, actually I'm going to go in with the shade Canyon. No, Leather. Let's go darker. Screw it. So I'm going to go in with the shade Leather here, right? And I'm going to put that pretty much, and I say pretty much, all over my lid. And I always start with eyes because you can tidy it up later. But this palette is lovely because it's just all neutrals. And I feel like anyone could use it. Like, it works lovely on warmer skin tones. It works lovely on pretty much any skin tone. There's a black in here. There's a white. There's literally everything. Hey, Warrior. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm just coming back on, really, to say hello to everybody. Because when I tell you, honey, it's been a moment. My PC just decided no. I woke up one day and the PC was like, no. So it was a lot. But yeah, so I hope you're well. Welcome back. We're going to start doing more live streams, gaming, Elden Ring. I'm back on it, hopefully from Monday, all right? It's just taken me a while to get everything set up. You'll notice it looks quite different. But I hope you're doing well. And you can spare me some time, grab a coffee. I know it's a random time, but thought I'd come in and check in with you all, let you know how we're all doing. See what's up. So yeah, cover the whole eyelid usually, and I'm going to do that to both sides. Okay, I've got really quite hooded eyes, and that's why I'm always trying to do something that's going to give me like a largening effect in a way. Now, each their own. I love grungy, smoky, daytime tweed with an evening chiffon. I do. And being a fairer person with kind of a cooler complexion, a lot of the times I go for a neutral brown because I like that my skin still has colour. I feel like sometimes if I just slather the things on, I have to go really fair. And that's fine, but sometimes you want your skin to kind of show through, and I'm trying to not go too absolutely loco poco. So now I've got this pretty much all over the top lid. I'm not putting any on the lower lid on me, and I will explain why shortly. Okay, so I'm going to take most of the product off, and I'm just using my little recycled rag from a t-shirt because I am what? Sustainable AF. Go get your rags out. Everybody get your rags out. Everybody get your rags out. Hi. So, no. Let's go into leather again, and I'm just going to fill in all the way along my natural crease. This is kind of like a standard smoky eye, but I'm trying to keep it quite simple. So I'll do that. I'm going to wipe that out on the rag again, and then we're going to blend, and I'm blending up and outwards almost as if I'm going to meet my eyebrow on the way there. Let me just put the music up a little bit. There we go. And we're going to do that all the way through here as well. I'm only kind of going side to side here though, just to kind of really soften it. Now, when I look straight on, this is what I'm doing, alright? When you're doing your makeup, especially if you have hooded eyelids, you need to be looking as straight on to yourself as possible when you start to blend, because now you're going to see how I can create more of a lifted effect, like so. So if you look at this, this kind of comes down a bit, okay? And then this has just given that little almost liner lifted effect. And that is something that no matter your eye shape, I think you should really take into account when applying eyeshadow, because it is going to make a major difference to how lifted your eyes look. Also, I'm making sure to stay away from this part here where I have quite a few problems with my makeup. I've already got a eye primer down, but usually what I will do is leave this pretty much bare apart from foundation, concealer and skin products. It really does help to lift up the corner of the eye. So yes, now once I've done that, I'm going to do the same again. Now I'm looking straight forward and I'm blending up just with whatever's left on the brush in circle motions here, and then flicking up and out to create almost a bit of a feline-ish, cat eye-ish shape. I'm always trying to lift these tiny little eyes of mine. Lift and make them pop, right? So carry on with that blending until you get something that's just nice and soft all around the edges. So I've done videos about doing my makeup, but I don't think I've done a live where I've just kind of come on here and done this. And you know, why not? I thought trying to get everything set up and make sure that we're all running smoothly and just kind of address where I've been gone and where I've gone. So if you don't know, my PC just stopped working. It's as simple as that. It wouldn't boot. So I had to then go and get it sent off to be repaired. And it took quite a bit of time for it to happen. And I was supposed to be keeping all of my files on the computer, I thought. And then it returned with absolutely nothing on it. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. Today's stream setup is very thrown together for little old me. I'm going to take a bigger brush now and go into a lighter shade. So we're going to go into the shade Canyon and really soften this out now, okay? Yeah, so basically the whole computer thing is absolute boo-boo the fool. I now have the computer back and it is working. Issue being, none of the work that I've put into it is on there now. So it's a bit like, oh, poop, you know? So it's a lot of things, especially as I was in the middle of quite a few things that weren't backed up. There's a lot of things that I need to spend a bit of time getting back together and putting together. Like a lot of the overlays and things I make myself. And obviously without the memory that was on the computer, I don't have all of the assets that I did. Right, so you can see now I'm taking this, and to start I'm just finding the edge of the shadow with this lighter shade Canyon and just kind of really buffing and softening this edge, because I'm not really trying to blend away like crazy, but in using a lighter brush it will give you, in using a bigger, more fluffy brush with a bit of a dome on it, it'll give you a bit of a softer application. Alright, so could I blend this out? Yeah, and I probably will do a little bit. But you really want to get that smoke on. Like, look at that. Love it. So now we have done that. Tap off the excess. We're going to meld that right in to the shadow on these corners. And then do a subtle blend between the two. Just to really double check. It's nice and soft. A bit lower down. I like to use big brushes as much as possible because it's so much quicker. Alright. I'm the only one who did the makeup. Well, it's a lot. I enjoy doing makeup, so I studied special effects and prosthetic makeup at University College Birmingham. I did not complete the full degree. It was more to do with the situation outside, housing, finances, etc. So I've been a beauty professional for almost 16 years. But makeup is something that I learned more recent. Hairdressing is something I have done. Well, I started as a Saturday girl, basically, in the salon at 14. So, you know, hairdressing's always been there in a different way. But makeup is something that I put so much time and effort and, you know, love into. I've always been as inspired by makeup as I have hair. It's just beauty is all. I'm a drag queen. I'm a drag queen. I'm a queer person. What do you want from me? So, yeah. So, I love to share my knowledge with people because I know how difficult it is sometimes to learn things, and everyone's different. And I have a very oily skin texture with very hooded eyes, and I know there's other people out there with it, but sometimes I feel like there's things that a queer person can relay in a way that could be related to a bit better. I don't know, but either way, I'm just here doing it. So now, to give myself a little bit of dimension to this eye, because I don't want it just too flat on the lid, I'm going into this shimmer. It's almost like a metallic. It's almost like a metallic silver, alright? Because like I say, I'm keeping it neutral because I like to have a bit of colour in the skin. And I'm taking it onto my finger, and I'm just going to place it right on the centre of the lid and just rubbing it on in the centre. Now I find if I start patting it out and going everywhere, you lose that definition, alright? See, it's subtle, it's not crazy. I could put on a blinding highlight here if I wanted to, but sometimes you just want something to add the dimension back in. Like if you look, there we go. So we're going to repeat that on the other side. I'm not live streaming without makeup. Yeah, I know. I know, yeah. I will do, like I was saying, I will do these kind of things where it's like the process or a get ready with me. I don't mind doing that, but usually if I go out, if I go out in the daytime, this is what I do. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I've been the same ever since since I was like 11, 12. I think I was 11 when I started wearing eyeliner. I was a major emo kid. A major little British emo kid. So, You know, it kind of came with the territory. So what I'm going to do now, just to add a little bit of brightness into the very inner corners here, I'm going to do that by taking the shade Locket. It's like a kind of slightly gold colour, but it's going to help to kind of warm this eye up in a very subtle way. So we're going to take this just on the tip of the finger. You want a tiny bit, and push the excess off slightly. See how bright that is? We're just going to tap it in. Oh, remember to get rid of your eye poking. So we're just going to tap that in there. And it is very subtle, mind you, but these are just my steps, alright? These are just my steps. So, just making sure everything is nicely blended in. You can see how now that's given like a little bit of a lift, a little bit of shape, and a bit of shimmer, but it's not too like, oh dear, here she comes. Alright. You get it? You get it? It's beautiful when you have makeup that makes you... Oh, thank you. Well, this is the thing. Makeup I've always credited to just so much. Like, it's... For me, it used to be waking up and doing my hair. And as I've grown older, makeup's kind of become a part of that. And it's all to do with your self-schema, I think. I think, like, some people would put on makeup and feel innately uncomfortable. But other people, it does really bring something out of you. And it makes you feel like... You know, oh, let's do it. Let's, you know, it brings you the motivation. For me, it's almost like a little bit of meditation before you do something. I might injure my eye with this bit. Yeah, I know. I like the big spoon, all right? They heard that about me. I know they did. Right. And yes, so now, eyes are done pretty much. We're going to move on to skin. Yes, we are. So I'm just going to get rid of that heinous stuff that I put on my hand. By the way, I use myself as a makeup palette all the time. It's just part of the process. And this is already taking me far too long. But that's why I've come on here to chat with you all, because I know usually I'm playing something and it's a bit different. I can't kind of just like stop and spend a long amount of time chatting. I'm trying to entertain a bit more. So this is kind of just more of a check-in. It's good to like do a let's talk, do a have a chat, because I don't do them often. Henceforth, I am a chatty beggar, and that is why we have now reached almost, what is it? So it's like over 3/4 of an hour of me, and I only have eyeshadow and an eyebrow on because I'm the wafflerizer. Look at me right now. Haven't done anything for like 3 or 4 minutes. But right, I was actually about to say this to you. I could stop here. And I have stopped here before, right? But there are a few little things that I could do to push this over the edge, right? Something that you want to, if you have some more dark circles you want to help with, if you want to make things look a little bit more refined, that's what we're going to do now, all right? So it's not going to take long at all, because my skin does not take me long. What we do is we are going to take literally one product to start. Okay, so this is the MAC Studio Fix foundation powder. I can't remember what shade it is, NC34 or something, but this matched me really quite well. Now I will take this, push it into the brush, okay, and then I will just add this product everywhere that I want a little more coverage. So that usually for me is under the eye. And the thing I like about this powder is it has a very skin-like finish. And now if you look at before and after, right, it's so subtle. If you use it in, you can use it in many ways. You can use it as a full coverage powder, but I like using it in this effect for my day makeup because I find that it's just very soft and it makes your skin look very soft, but I can still see my freckles. I can still see my skin coming through. Okay. And there's things, this is an opportunity I will use as well to tidy up my eyeshadow. So I'm going to pinch the brush ever so slightly, take a little bit onto the back of the brush, and then hit this area here. Because like I say, I get quite watery under here. This is really good to set in that eye primer and add a little bit more pigment to the wing, quote unquote, section of the eyeliner. So just there. And it's not much, but you can see before, after, nice and clean. So I'm going to finish blending out that side. I usually start with my under eye. And we'll go over here. Now you can really see the difference. Okay? So it's subtle, but it's giving me enough to add that bit of coverage to cover texture, all of that stuff that we want to hide from the masses. Bring it right in here. There we go. So it's just about evening the skin tone out very slightly. Okay. Is it there when you're live streaming? The makeup? Yeah. Yeah. I wear loads of makeup. I mean, yeah, I always wear makeup for live streaming. I do. Like I was saying, unless I'm coming on here to like do something like this, I've usually always got makeup on. And I'm putting makeup on now, so it seems paradoxical for me to say that. But at the same time, I'm putting on what I would put on for the day. This isn't quite, alright? This isn't quite the same as what I would do for one of my live streams. I have got a video here on the channel with a process of me getting ready for a live stream. But I haven't live streamed the process, so here we are, right? And now I'm just kind of trying to concentrate on the under eye area. I'm not really coming too far down on the face, just making sure we're all nice and blended. And this part of the nose in here, I usually put some of the hyaluronic acid primer in there as well, because if you're like me and you get that horrible bit on the inside of your nose, girl. So now a little bit over the nose. Pat it in, pat it on, pat it on, pat it on, pat it on, pat it in, pat it on. And now for the forehead, doing this also helps to add a very subtle highlight to the makeup without having to go full coverage. Now, I know it's going to look a little bit powdery when I've just put this on, so there are steps we take afterwards to combat that for the day. But an example up here on my forehead is gleaming. It's partly credit to my lighting setup. Alright, it's partly credit to my lighting setup, but you know, it's all good. So I've only been live streaming literally just over a year. It was the 1 year anniversary of this YouTube channel about a week or two ago. Yeah, March last year I started. I'm relatively new to it, but I'm an entertainer. I'm a drag artist from the UK, and I work with a group called Dubtendo at a lot of festivals here, wherein my job is basically being a hostess for a Mario Kart and vintage gaming tournament in full Lady Bowser drag. That's basically what I do there, among other things with drag, but obviously that's something that kind of really put me in a position where it was like a friend of mine had asked, you know, would you be interested in joining the Dubtendo lot? And I had a, you know, I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Put a microphone in my hand, 4 hours, you know? So now what I usually do is put on a little bit of this here. However, before I add powder to my upper lip, because I do have still a slight bit of blueness, okay, that I like to combat. And doing that, I will... Oh, I'm attached! I was attached to a mushroom. So, usually I will take the P. Louise Basic base, okay? This is the perfect shade. It's in the shade Cute in Coral. It's the perfect shade for someone who's a very fair skin tone that needs to just correct a slight bit of blue. It blends out to almost nothing and it really does the job well. So I take a little bit of this, and I mean the tiniest amount, right, onto my finger, and you'll see it's not dark orange, it's very flesh toned. It's almost so coral it's practically skin tone, right? And then I will take that and just very slightly place it anywhere that I have a bit more blueness on my face. And you'll see it doesn't look orange. No, because it's not too dark. This is what a color correction should look like. Invisible, okay? You're not making something orange. What you are doing is cancelling out the natural blueness that is being picked up by any remnants of facial hair that you may have. Now, this is a useful tip for not just people who are men doing drag, but useful for women who have PCOS, useful for basically anyone that has facial hair that wants to be able to minimize the appearance of it without having too much on. All right, can you see now? There was hardly any blue there anyway, but there's definitely no blue and there's no orange. Okay, you can't see, like, it doesn't look like I've been eating spaghetti. And what I'll usually do is take the rest of this, it's a very small amount, and just place it on the bluest parts of my chin. Using my fingers again to warm things up is a game changer, especially when you're trying to wear things in the day, you know. So there we go. It's very, very subtle, but it does make all the difference, I promise you. So what I'll probably do after this is I'll take a photo of myself and upload it to my Instagram as well. My Instagram is the same as my YouTube, at Indi_X_O, just to kind of put it out there, alright? So you can see what this looks like without the lighting and everything in daylight, alright? I'll show you what it looks like over there after, alright? Thank you, I'm glad you enjoy it. So, now I've done that, I go back in with my foundation powder, and there's 1 or 2 bits left. And that's it. So now, I don't set that, it is a primer. Therefore, we take this, go straight on. Now obviously, I'm not really trying to change anything too much. A lot of makeup artistry is realizing what you have and making the most of it. You usually get a better result than if you try and go against what is natural. Like you say, Warrior, you know, no, I'm not saying that's true. I'm a drag queen. I understand you can use makeup in a multitude of ways for multiple reasons and can get some extremely transformative results. But as far as what you're trying to do in the day, you know, I'm not trying to like have everyone glare at me down the street. It's bad enough. I'm trying to just like live my life. If you know what I'm saying. Okie dokie. So now we've got a nice, smooth looking complexion. If I was doing this on my own, I'd have done it in 15 minutes, genuinely. Because now we have one more step left. And in the daytime, I'm very red naturally, alright? So I do tend to stay away from bronzer. However, there is one thing that I will do in the daytime, and that is a little bit of contour. Now this I actually got off Amazon and I love it. It's from a brand called Cersil. I've never seen this before. It's pretty though. Cersil Sculpt Contour Palette, and it's once again perfect for someone who is very fair. It's like neutral and not orange, but it's not green. It's good, right? There's only a couple of pounds. I think it was only like £8 or £9 off Amazon. And if you know, you know, that's really not that bad. All right. So I'm taking that on a domed, like almost like a highlighter brush, but I'm taking it on this kind of brush. And usually to contour for the daytime, I will be quite light with myself. I need a better blooming mirror because I can't see what I'm doing. And this mirror I've put down here. Goodness. So what's my favorite lipstick color? I like a pinkish color. I like pink. Yeah, like a pink nude, but I do like lip gloss as well. I would also say that some reds I really like. I do really like a juicy red berry lip. But yeah, I'm very much in an era at the moment of tinted balms and things, especially like I'm saying now, especially as it's more of a daytime vibe I'm going for today. Especially as it's more that kind of thing. I will be doing something that's a bit more balmy, a bit more, you know, subtle. What I'm doing is more perfecting the skin and just taking some time to kind of assess what I've got for the day and treat myself accordingly. So I usually contour, I usually find my cheekbone and work up and outwards into the hairline, and then swoop in. One thing I was always taught with contour is to try and never come in further. Really, you can blend from, say, here. But if you come in any further with it, it can make your face pushed up a bit too much, you know? But everyone's different. If it works for you, it works for you. It just don't work for me. So now you'll see I'm getting to like the middle of the face here. And I'm not really dragging the product along right now. I'm placing it on. As you can see, the shade is really quite so fair that it doesn't make too much of a difference. But once I've got the product laid down, I'm just kind of flicking inwards. Okay? Flicking from the deepest pocket of my cheekbone up and into the rest of my face. Okay? So that's gonna, you can see how that's nicely blended now. I just need to do a little bit more here. You're always trying to lift, okay? So I'm not contouring down, I'm actually kind of coming in and up. Okay, and what this is going to do is help achieve a slightly more rounded appearance. Slightly, it's not much, right? It's not much because I'm not going too crazy, but obviously take this as you like. If you are the kind of person who wants a bit more, then go for a bit more. All right, each to their own. I'm just sharing with you what I do. So now, one thing that I do wear quite a lot of, to be honest, day or night, is chin. I do my chin quite a lot. Best way to do it, all right, do this. Don't go here, go on this. You know? Because one thing you'll find, if you put on a harsh line right under here, it almost makes the chin look much more squarer than you'd think, you know? So what I'm going to do is blend that up and round instead to kind of smallen the chin slightly, only slightly, and then a little bit here. Let's play Elden Ring. Do you know what? I'm really excited to get back to it. I am really excited to get back into Elden Ring with you all. So it is definitely coming, 100%. I think Monday. But yeah, no, I'm really absolutely loving the game. Excited for the DLC. Excited to play that with all of you lot as well. 1000%. But right now, so usually what I do with my... I've obviously got my headphone completely getting involved, even though I didn't ask it to. But usually what I do in my contour for my jaw is I'll come up in front of the ear. And it's still keeping it quite soft. Let me just turn that way so you can see it a bit more. You see? So, blending that up to the ear, and then down and out down the neck. Like so. So you can see this is before, and this is after. Right? It changes the shape of the cheekbone. Jawline! I don't even know what anatomy is anymore. Can somebody give me an anatomy class? Oh yeah? You wanna give me an anatomy class, Daddy? I'm back. Guess who's back in the house? Me, I'm back in the house. And it's not much, alright? I know I was like, it's not much, and I'm here like literally, absolutely ramming this stuff into my skin. But this is just how I do it. Yeah, I know I haven't played in a long time. That's why I am really excited to get streaming next week, because you know what to do. Notification bell on, because I think come Monday, right? Come Monday, we'll be doing it. We will be doing it. So, also, what I'm going to do is I've got my head divots in here. Can you see this dark bit, right? Here. It's a scar. But let me just now, so usually I'll take whatever left on the contour brush and just pat that all over my eyeshadow and blend up and out, soften everything again. Same here, up and out. Love that. Once I've done that, I'll double check, just double go over with any excess powder. So yeah, basically, as I was saying, this would be done in 20 minutes. I will sit down 20 minutes before a stream and do all this, or before going out of the day. But I've been enjoying myself here doing all this with you. So now, as far as my skin, eye makeup and stuff, that's pretty much it. There's just a few more things. One being mascara. I have awful eyelashes. So do you know what I do? I go in wherever it's gone with an eyelash curler and a lighter. If you are playing with lighters, make sure you have an adult handy. If you need to be supervised, that's not on me. And then I will curl the lashes. So I start at the root, squeeze a couple times, walk it out, squeeze, squeeze. And that wakes me up. Because when you have a mixture of hooded eyes, right? When you have a mixture of hooded eyes and lashes that point down like this, you need to do everything you can to get them to stand up. So I'm at the root, press, 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 walk out, walk out. And that should lift me a little bit. I need to do a little bit more in the corner. And yes, if you are doing this, please be careful, because I will say it's not unknown to accidentally burn yourself. So be very careful. I always usually check it on the back of my hand before I put it on my face, alright? And if you can't judge for yourself, have a friend or an adult check for you, because this is YouTube. Very that right. Okay, which now brings me on to eyelashes. I'm using the Rimmel 3D Lash, Extra 3D Lash Mascara, and I don't mind it because it's comfortable to wear, gets on and off relatively easily. So, starting at the corners, I put on a very light coat on every part. I'm avoiding the bottom lashes today. If I was doing something for camera, for something a bit more extra, I would do my bottom lashes. But I think today, same with the mascara as well, we're keeping it quite subtle, quite simple. We ain't going crazy, alright? We ain't going crazy, not here today, no. Just getting ready to go out and probably do some sewing. So I've got my little goblin garage. Gotta go and get back in the goblin garage. Okay, so as far as eyes, skin, and everything, we are pretty much done. You could chuck a lash on this if you are that kind of girly. You know, I understand that. I just feel like I can go too far very quickly. Ah! So, very... Come on, Lashley. Now, I have awful natural lashes. It's one of the reasons I curl them. So, if you also have awful lashes, you understand that trying to perfect them with a mascara can be done. It just takes a little bit of perseverance and just separating them sometimes to get the effect that you are going for. So there we go. And that is basically my eyes. That's what I'll do in the day. And you can see the way that the MAC foundation, it's powder. It's a powder foundation, but it does leave a very nice skin-like finish, you know? Okie dokie. So, no. I know I talk a lot about makeup. I love the theory behind it, and I love playing with it. Now, what I'm going to do is move on to my lips. Now, this is a daytime look. We're not going too wild. One thing I am going to do quickly is do one more layer of setting spray all everywhere, just to rehydrate everything. Now this, like I was saying, this foundation powder has a lovely effect when you rehydrate it. It just becomes more like skin. I'm not wearing any highlighter because of the fact that my skin is so oily. If I start putting loads of highlighter on my face on top of everything else, I will sometimes do a little bit, Alright, don't get me wrong. But if I start putting on a blinding highlighter alongside my skin, I just look like I'm wet. And you know, if that's your vibe, go for it. But there becomes a point with me where it gets a bit too much, you know? So, once you've done all that, okay, it's time to do the lips. Now, this is a lip balm. This is the Pat McGrath Sheer Coloured Balm in Flesh 3. Right? Now, this is a top-of-the-range product. However, I have got a bit of an alternative. It's basically a tinted lip balm, but it does last quite a while. What a wonderful smell. It does smell lovely, it does. So, this is the Dr. Pawpaw Tinted Ultimate Red Lip Balm. It's a similar product. Basically, you can get this in like Home Bargains or anything, this one, right? And it's a pretty good duplicate for the effect that I'm trying to create. This was literally like £1, and Dr. Pawpaw is a really, really old, reliable makeup artist brand. Yeah, they used to get us to use it in uni all the time, but it's got a lovely, subtle tint to it. So this would be a almost cheaper version of something like this, but there's no comparison to Pat McGrath. So today, I'm going to show you what I do with this one. If you have a little look, it is literally on its last legs. But this looks like a dark red lipstick, but it just blends out so lovely. So it is a balm, but I'm trying to keep things quite sheer. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of the lip balm that I started with at the beginning of the stream. Like so. Once that is done, we'll just let her do her thing for a hot second. I'm going to take a lip brush because this is on its last legs, but it is so beautiful. I would genuinely buy one of these again. Miss Pat McGrath, she knows what she's doing with makeup. So I'm going to take my lip brush now for the very end and just pick up a little bit of product. It's not much. And I'll put it in the center. And this now has so much more of a like deep red undertone almost. It's quite subtle, but I just love the way that this stuff really actually leaves a nice stain on the lip for quite a while. It's a beautiful product for giving a very Pat McGrath smudged lip. So an example, we're going to do a bit more of that now. I'm going to add some more just on my Cupid's bow, like so, and then a tiny bit more on the bottom lip, and because it's a balm texture, not only will it blend out so lovely for us in just a moment, but it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything, which is great. I mean, there's nothing worse than putting on a lipstick and it just falling off or going everywhere. So once that's done, I'll take my finger and blend out this line to give like a very soft flush of colour back into the lips. It's almost like, there we go, blend that out. It's almost like putting on a lip without putting on a lip, you know? So, yes, as far as my makeup, one thing I will do before I usually go out or whatever, is add a bit more powder because I need it, alright? So, once again, I'm using a puff. Oh yeah! And yeah, just kind of mattify a little bit, alright? Because with my skin, the glow will come back. You give it 20 minutes, alright? The glow will be back. Anywhere I have more texture, add a little bit more powder, you know? Top lip, okay? Now, I will say the top lip has served me well today, and I will definitely credit that to the Sigma. So once more, translucent on the brows. I was saying before about how a shiny brow is like a dead giveaway that you have no eyebrows and you're just an egg. Hi! Hi, Egg Sisters. Egg friend. Oh, no, not the sisters. Let's not do that. Right, so now, this is the longest it's ever taken me to do this. Right, okay. Anyway. Hi, welcome to my public embarrassment. What's your favourite colour? Let's get these clips out. All right. Let's get these clips out. Now, it's nothing crazy. Exactly. All right. It's nothing crazy. And that is exactly my point. I just really wanted to come on here. Get me a hairbrush. I'm an absolute fool. An absolute mess. So yeah. Well, basically, that'll be it. Coming to a bit of an end for today, slowly. I just want to say, like, a major thank you for coming to pop by and say hello. If you are here live, thank you so much for coming and supporting. That's pretty much it for the makeup. What do you think? What do you think? Not too crazy. We're doing daytime, day walking. Okay. I'm going to look back at this in years and be like, you are crazy, bitch. And I'm like, yeah, I know. We've been new, we always been known. But I just want to say to all of you, I'm so excited to get back to streaming with you. Remember to hit that bell on the way out if you are new, because fingers crossed, Monday, all right, Monday evening, I will see you there. If you haven't already, give me a little thumbs up in my little box down below and rate this one out of 10. Would you wear this one to go to the shops? Because I would. And do you know what? I do. I've missed you all so much as well. Thank you so much, JM and Warrior Defender and everyone who's popped in to say hello today. Absolute honour. I will see you next time. I'm going to go and do nothing. Oh, jeez. Right. It's not goodbye. Let's just be right back, innit?